welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be about making a dress. Well, in technicality, it's a skirt and a blouse, so it's not really a dress, it's more of just like an outfit, I guess. So, for some reason recently I've been really into Edwardian fashion. Edwardian fashion is between around 1900 to 1910-ish, is when the Edwardian era sort of happened. And I've really wanted to make an outfit so I could be my best Edwardian lady self. So, that included two patterns, which hopefully I don't screw up making, is this one, which is a trumpet skirt from 1903. It's pretty cool. I got it off of this Etsy store that reprints like vintage patterns. Like it's printed inside this bag. It's just, you know. So hopefully I can figure it out, but it is a skirt, so it shouldn't be too hard. Hopefully. The other piece I got is a blouse. This is from another store on Etsy. This blouse is a little bit later in the decade. I think it's from like 1905 to 1908 or something like that. So the skirt's a little older than the blouse, but they're around this basic time period. So I decided that I'm going to try and combine them. Now they are two different patterns from two different stores, so there's a possibility that they will not connect together and it'll look stupid. So I guess I will find out. My first priority is to do the skirt, then I will work on the blouse. The skirt I think I can figure out pretty well. The blouse is going to be the one that's the most difficult because I've never made a blouse like this before, and I don't know if I'm going to understand the instructions. So I guess you'll find out if I make it, if I don't, or if I struggle horribly. So to do this, I have some fabric, which I don't have all of it next to me. For the blouse, I was thinking I have a bunch of white fabrics. So this one has flowers on it, and so does this one. I do not know if this will be enough to make it, but I also have this white like sheet. So I'm planning to make like this the main part of the shirt, and then this be like the sleeves or something like that. I will figure it out. I'm kind of winging it as I go. And then the fabric's not next to me, which does not help, but I have this gray fabric that I'm going to be using for the skirt. So today my goal is to focus on cutting out all of the pieces, because that's the thing that takes the longest and kills me slowly. Drains the life out of me because it's so tedious. You gotta cut out all of the patterns, then you gotta pin it on correctly, then you gotta cut them out, you gotta cut the notches, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, and it just takes like too long. But once you cut out all the pieces, then it's easy. You just gotta read the instructions and start putting things together. So I guess let's make an Edwardian outfit, shall we?
I've got the blues, I feel so lonely. I'd give the world if I could only make you understand. It truly would be grand. I'm gonna tell her on my...
So last night I cut out all of the skirt pattern pieces, and I did cut them from fabric. So they're all done. These are all the skirt pieces on my really nice floor. Over here, this is ruffle because I needed 5 of those and I only had one pattern, so that's that pile of stuff. But I cut out all the pieces, and for the blouse, instead of attaching it to fabric, I did cut out all of the pattern pieces. I just didn't attach to anything yet. But I'm going to worry about the blouse and attaching everything once I finish the skirt, because I found out the blouse has 15 pieces, and so I might fuck the blouse up entirely. But I would like to focus on the skirt so I can at least make one of these really good. I mean, the blouse might turn out really nicely, but for now, we're going to focus on the skirt. My goal for today is to attach all the big pieces together, which is the easiest part of dealing with a skirt. So I'm just going to take, you know, the side fronts, attach them to the front, attach the side backs to the back, attach everything together, leaving a seam in the back for, you know, putting it on. And we'll see how that goes.
I'm gonna tell her on my face.
So as you can see, I have the opening in the back of the skirt. I ironed this so that it, you know, stayed nice. Now, the goal, or the instructions say to take this placket, basically attach, like, so eyes to this, if you've ever seen them, little eyes to this, and then you sew it in here so it's, like, you know, attached inside. Then you put hooks on this side, and then basically, you know, close it shut. I have a problem. One, I do not have any hooks and eyes. I thought I did. I do not. And I don't really have time to buy some. So that really helps. So instead, I have two options. Either A, put in a zipper, but the last time I put in a zipper, we all know what happened there. It didn't look good. The second option is to use these. They're little dress fasteners. They're vintage ones, which are pretty sweet. And they basically do the same thing as hooks and eyes, but I guess they just, you know, they're kind of like the buttons on coats, you know, where they click together. It's basically what these do, and I would put them in there. So, this in there, like planned, without any hooks on it. Put the little, you know, things on the edge of it, and still pin everything together. And I think I'm going to try and do that, and hope it looks good. Now, I'm going to take these little clippies, and I'm going to attach them. And I'm going to have to hand sew them, because with hooks and eyes, you can, like, sew a line across, like it is possible. These, you can't really do that, because there's, like, little holes in it, and you can't really see, but yeah. So I'm going to have to hand sew these on, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to have 6 of them, like the original had 6 hooks and eyes. So I'm going to have 6 of these. Basically, I'm going to put 6 going down here, hand sew them on. Then I'm going to hand sew the other 6 onto the other side to hopefully make sure they line up, which is my worst thing. I'm horrible at it. And then should hopefully, if things do the thing I want to, will clip together. So, I actually did a really good job. Now, of course, the lines are not the best, but I connected everything, and I ironed it to make sure that it was flat. It is a little iffy right here, as you can see. It's kind of, you know, it's not perfectly together. I'm going to try and iron it to fix it, but otherwise, you know, it's just that. Now I just have to add the waistband, which is right here. Basically, I fold it over the edges and iron it, and then I'm going to, you know, fold it. Waistband's kind of tiny, but that's okay. So I'm going to add the waistband to this, and hopefully I can do everything correctly and close it right. And then after I add the waistband, I'm going to try it on, and then that will make my decision if I'm going to add ruffles. This skirt has ruffles at the end, which would probably add a good 3-4 inches to this skirt, but this skirt is already long, and I'm tiny, and I don't want it to be like, you know, 5 feet longer than I am. So I'm going to add the waistband, try it on, and then I will see if I want to add ruffles. If not, I'll just hem the bottom and the skirt's done. If I do want to add ruffles, then I'm going to have to add the ruffles and then hem it. So I guess I'll come back to you when the waistband is on and I'm in the bathroom trying it on. Alright guys, so basically the skirt is done aside from the hemming. There's no hemming on it yet. Well, but I added the clips. It's a little wonky in the back. But, you know, it's the back, so no one's gonna see it. And I did the hemming by hand because of how I did the waistband. If I did it by machine, I'd totally screw it up. So yes, it looks a little wonky, but hey, a lot of these dresses back in the day were hand sewn, so we're gonna pretend I was doing it for authenticity, not because I was scared I would screw it up. I do like the length, so I don't think that I'm going to add ruffles to the bottom, because of the fact that it already like goes past my feet, and even if I do hemming on this, it is still quite long, and adding another 3 to 5 inches onto the skirt when I already have that much is a lot. As you can see, here are my feet. Beautiful. Now watch. As you can tell, even when I hem it, it's already on the floor. That's gonna get dirty and I'm gonna have to continually walk like this. But adding another, like, you know, that much to it is just gonna make it worse. I may change my mind, obviously, and I can always add it, especially since, you know, I can do what I want. But I think for now, I'm just going to hem the bottom and then leave the skirt be so I can focus on the blouse, which is hopefully
evermore to call your name.
So, off camera, I cut the fabric to the pattern pieces for the blouse. So this is what I did. Now, originally there were 15 pieces, which included lining, which I'm not doing because I don't line things because I'm smart. Not. I don't line anything. Eventually I will not be lazy, but these are the basic pieces. So back, front, sleeve, sleeve. I'll explain that in a second. Trimming. This is yokes, which go and flip over, and collar. So the instructions for this blouse are honestly really horrible. And so I'm basically going to like match up the triangles. And I kind of can understand from what's on here that I can figure out how to do this, hopefully. That's the goal, at least. If it turns out shit, well, at least I tried. So, my first plan is to attach the front and back because that's the easiest and I can figure that out quite easily. Then there's the sleeve. Now, originally I was very confused how this went to the sleeve, but then I looked at some pictures and realized that this goes on the side of the sleeve and this is like the edge, like this small part goes around the edge, which goes around, you know, your arm. So these two attach, and this is the, you know, the, I guess the hemming or the band at the bottom. I have now realized. Seriously. So my first goal is going to be attach the front to the back because that's going to be the easiest to understand. Then I'll probably figure out how the hell I'm going to do the sleeves and then the other stuff. These two pieces, I was so dang confused, like what they did. I'm like, the frick is this? These are the trimming that go on the outside. Don't really know how to attach them. I will figure that out, I guess. But yeah, so let's do it. So I attached the back to the front. I added in a tuck over on the back. There was two, but I added one, and then if I need to add the second one, I can. Holding the camera and showing you is so hard. So it looks like this on the outside, and it looks like that on the inside, like a little triangle. Now, on the front, it also asked for doing that, so I pinned everything. And I read the instructions, and I pinned everything as it said. This is on the inside, so the outside, you know, looks a lot nicer. Like this. It'll look nice once the pins are out. So I pinned all of the tucks, so hopefully I sew them correctly. So I'm gonna go and sew these in, and then the top will be tucked, and then my plan is to most likely sew the two shoulder seams together, so it's basically like a shirt.
Approximately 10 hours later.
I don't know what I'm doing. So I got the sleeve, this chunky thing, and then I have this like inner sleeve thing, and I don't know how to attach them because there's two cuts right here, but that doesn't make a lot of sense because if it matches up, it's down here. And I think that this is the top of the sleeve. But I don't actually know if it's the top of the sleeve or not. I'm kind of like just looking at this very confused like. So, but what I did notice is on the pattern for the sleeve, there are crosses. If you look, little green crosses. And it says to gather between those points. So that's basically my plan right now, is I'm going to gather both sleeves between these points. And we'll see if it confuses me more, or if I'm like, hallelujah. Honestly, if I tried to put this on right now, I'd hurt myself. So I gathered it and pinned it in place. Then I pinned the sides of it together. I think I connected it right. I have no idea. Luckily, I didn't do this in two different fabrics, so they're the same fabric. So at least if I did do it a little wrong, it won't look too stupid, hopefully. So I think my goal is I'm going to pin the other one first. So it looks kind of like this, which honestly just, I don't know what, it's a ball of needles, honestly. I'm going to pin the other one exactly how I did this one, and then I'm going to sew them both, and I'm going to see what happens. They are a little sketchy on the inside, but hey, on the outside they look pretty nice. Of course, you'd probably still stab yourself because the top is still filled with pins. Basically, these are all of the the gathering in here. And once I put it in the sleeve hole, then I'll pin it all in, sew it, and then the pins can be taken out. But this is so it stays gathered. So I have, basically both sleeves are done. The only things that have to be done with the sleeves is to attach them to the front. And then on the bottom, there is a strap that I either need to sew together and keep it that way, or do like what I did with the back of the skirt where I had those little clips. Put a little clip on this because they're supposed to go like, you know, they overlap one another. So I guess once I attach it and I see how it feels, I'll see if I want to like make it so it comes undone, or if I just want to like sew it and see what happens. But first, we have to attach the sleeveys. Woo! So the sleeves are on. I had some trouble attaching this sleeve, so I had to reattach it because I did it wrong and it looks stupid. But both sleeves are on, and now I'm doing the waistband. So basically it's said to gather between certain points, so I did as it said. Now, I did not cut out a waistband. I don't know if there's a waistband pattern piece in here that I missed. I'm gonna double check, but as far as I'm aware, there's not. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my own, and basically I'm thinking what would be kind of cool is the fabric I used for the sleeve is a set of curtains, and the edges have this really cool like design work. Now of course it is like the edge, so it doesn't really matter that much. So I'm going to look through the pattern pieces to make sure I didn't miss a waistband. And if I did, I'm just gonna cut one out, you know, measure it to it.
When you left, you broke my heart. That will never make us part. Every hour in the day, you will hear me say.
The only thing left that I have to do is I have to fix the top, obviously, because it's a raw edge and it looks sketchy as hell. And I have to figure out a way to close it, which I'm either going to use those clips that I used last time, or I'm going to use buttons, or I'm going to use something. But I got to be able to close the damn thing so it can, you know, close. So I think I'm just going to do all that off camera because it's just doing the collar and attaching the back. And the other thing that I forgot to mention is the sleeve, if I want to, because right now it's got this opening. Basically, if I want to pin this, if I want to sew it, or if I want to have like a little button where it clicks, so that it can open and close, I will, I guess, figure that out. But I'm going to do, because it's getting late, because I always decide to sew when it gets late for some stupid reason. And this took me literally 2 million years. Like, this took way too goddamn long.
Baby, won't you please come home? I mean, baby, won't you please come home? Baby, won't you please come home? 'Cause your mama's all alone. I have tried in vain. Tell them all to call your name. Baby, won't you please come home? I need money. Baby, won't you please come home?
Alright guys, that is the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed. This is the final look. I think it turned out pretty well. Of course, the inside is a little worse for wear than the outside looks, but for my first time making an Edwardian outfit, I do like it. The only issue is, since they were two different patterns, they don't fit together very well, and if you look closely, I do have safety pins, you know, like you'd use on diapers, to keep the skirt up because the blouse like is very, it goes to like my mid stomach in the front, and then it goes even higher up in my back, and so I had to safety pin the skirt so it would stay up. I can wear the skirt by itself, but when it comes to the blouse, I'm either going to have to wear a really high-waisted skirt or wear this one. But I do like the look of the blouse, even if it, you know, has its flaws. The skirt is pretty much fine. The skirt's fine. The way I attached it in the back is a little wonky looking, but it's the back, and it's not too terrible where I, like, hate it every time I look at it, so that's nice. Other than that, I like how it turned out. It's not perfect by any means, but I think for my first attempt, it was pretty good. Especially since the blouse pattern had instructions that were absolute garbage, so I literally did it just doing it myself, and from that, it actually turned out really nice, so go me. This had a lot of hand sewing in it. I did machine sew a ton of it, but I had to hand sew, like, the decals on the shirt, the waistband on both of them, because it was just easier that way. So I practiced hand sewing as well, which is nice because I used to be really bad at it, so I'm getting better. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I posted photos on my Instagram and made TikToks in this outfit, so you can check out that social media, which is in the description below if you want to see that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will not be making any videos next week. I may say this again in my true crime for Thursday, but I will not be making any videos next week for the fact I'm going to be on a trip. I'm going to be out of town. Now, I could make videos early, but it just makes things complicated when I have to figure out how to upload them and all this other jazz, and then I'd have to bring my laptop on the trip, and I'd like to enjoy my trip rather than, you know, having to do stuff. So I will be taking a week off of video making, so I guess you'll have to enjoy the rest of my content and my other stuff, I guess. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed. I had fun making this, even if it's not as awesome as I was like imagined it to be. I still like it. I still like how it turned out. So yeah. Alright. I will see you guys on Thursday with another True Crime Thursday, and Monday with whatever, well, I was going to say with whatever I decide to post. I'm not posting anything. I'll see you on Thursday. Alright. Bye.